John went early this week. We're early, but we're back. Hello.
We're back. As
We're
you will
back.
notice that there's only two floating heads on the screen this week. Gary and Dean are away for various reasons this week. Dean is off getting married and Gary is off doing bits. So, such is life. So you've just got us two for the day.
Fortunately, my head is big enough to compensate for at least three more. And it's very hirsute, which is my favorite word today. Hirsute.
Oh, is that your word of the day, is it?
That's my word of the day. It's hirsute. It means hairy.
Yeah.
So there you go, kids. There you go. If anyone ever asks what hirsute is, point at us.
It's Gameweek 5, right?
It's Gameweek 5.
Right, so like what we obviously have going on here is the team of the week. We've obviously got the United game versus Chelsea where there was 2 red cards. You've got the Arsenal City game in the match of the contenders, if you want to say. You've got the Merseyside Derby. You've got Palace on a run. You've got Graham Potter in the shit. I think we're at that point now in the season where the stuff is starting to happen. You know, things are starting to settle. Trends are starting to emerge. It's really nice for us because there's another 2 weeks before the next international break. So by then you should have a decent reckoning of who's the who's and what's the what's by then, right?
Yeah. And Villa scored a goal.
Villa finally scored. We'll get to that. We will get to that. Before I jump into everything else, we do the old Statter update because it's been a few weeks since we've given.
Oh, the old Statter. Oh, Statter, what an app it will be and what an app it already is. It's just, you know, when you pull the cake out of the oven, but it's not iced yet and there's no cherries on top. Statter is the cake. The app is all but built, and we are testing and then sleeping for minutes and then testing in our sleep and then waking up and testing some more and making it look a little bit better, a little bit prettier, make things work just a little bit better. But the numbers are certainly working, and that's where our team of the week comes from. But for now, keep your eyes to the skies, for the app is coming very soon. Not sure exactly how soon, but very soon.
It's happening. Like we obviously did another mock draft the other night ahead of this week, testing out the head-to-head mode. I'm really excited about the head-to-head mode.
It's the best.
We've cracked the code on the head-to-head mode, so it's kind of it's one of these things that like, and we had like on Saturday morning night obviously did live, and like we were able to talk about the app in bits and pieces. So it's very much at a case in point where it's like it's happening. It's very, very close. So wait and see. But if you haven't joined the waiting list yet, get on the thing. Do the thing. And Jimmy, do you want to talk team of the week?
I do want to talk team of the week because this week it was weird.
Conversation. It's weird.
It's such a weird one. It was something that you talked about last week, how after the international break, the goals dry up. And as a result, we had a super, super defensive lineup last week. It was like 4 backs and 2 DMs. This week, it has swung in the other direction. It's a 4-5-1, but it's a very attacking 4 at the back. Arguably, even the 2 centre halves in there are pretty attacking players. But also, nobody in the team of the week is in the team of the year. So it's a lot of guys who are kind of knocking on the door, who have been thereabouts, a couple of first-timers. We'll start at the back, as we always do. Donnarumma, City
goalie. Big. He's very big.
He's very big. His points are
in the immortal words of Pep Guardiola, he's very big. And the end of that City game was very busy. We will talk about that.
Yes. Very, very busy, but ultimately productive because he retained the clean sheet. He's the only one over 10 points in the goalies this week, and he landed 17.
He didn't retain the clean sheet. It was 1-1.
It was 1-1. Jesus. Sorry, folks. I'm dangerously underslept. But 17 points because he was that busy and put in a great performance and helped them secure that point. At the back, there's 2 firsts here. One of them that makes absolutely no sense, but it does because that's our game. We'll start with the more obvious ones. Nico Williams, 33 points. Stellar for Forest this week. Yeah, a Forest that are certainly not what they were last year. But the Welsh lad is doing the business for them. 33, highest score in any position last week, so fair play to him. Then we have Chelsea's Reece James, a long favourite for everything except fantasy football. I think the fans love him, the players love him, but the poor lad has legs made out of chocolate chip biscuits. So it's nice to see him getting some game time. He performs when he's there.
The thing is, when he has
trap written all over him.
I watched the clip last week and it was going through a bunch of Premier League footballers, like recent and slightly past. They're like, who's the hardest right back you play against? And Reece James. Yep. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he can whip a ball, he can attack, he can defend. He has the whole package, apart from the fact that he has hamstrings made from cheese strings.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is it.
It's such a
and,
shame
arguably who he strikes me as being like, both in terms of fantasy and in terms of the kind of universal respect he gets from opponents, is Kyle Walker. Well, I mean, not personal respect, because Kyle Walker obviously is a dicey character, but as a player, he's very, very hard to play against. And when he was at City, he was exactly this kind of player, high scoring and then gone for 2 weeks, and then high scoring and then gone for 3 weeks. And James is at that point in his career where if you don't start to see him play consecutive games because he's out again, he's a trap. But if he's playing regularly, he is an asset worth keeping an eye on. Next up, playing for a team who have been god awful all season.
So bad. But there's a trend here. Like, there is a trend here, because Chelsea went down early and they took off their 2 wingers and they played super defensive, and the likes of Reece James playing as essentially a wing back attack. Also, their outball, And then you have the Wolves defender,
Agbadou.
Busy. Like, they lost 3-1 and he was super busy. Nico Williams and Matty Cash. He's finally somebody at Villa scored a goal. Like,
Cash at 28 points and Agbadou at 26. I mean, the difference there is that we all know who Matty Cash is, because he's one of those players where if you're not sure what to do, grab Matty Cash. Agbadou I had never heard of until looking at the numbers this week. A little surprised. He's our first entry for Wolves this season. He could very well be our last. Matty Cash.
No, there'll be other days where their defenders are very busy. So
yeah, there is that, I suppose. But yeah, there you go. There's your 4 at the back, and all 4 of them absolutely stuck in this week. None of the regulars there at the back this week. Not a Tarkers, nor a Robinson, a Milenkovic, a Collins. None of them to be seen this week. Not even Big Verge.
Last week, after the international break, it was all 0-0s, 1-1s, and then like this week, it's normalised. And what you're seeing now is also, and this is where the midfielder plays are going to come into. Like, you can see it in the midfielders, the types that are picking up the points. They're the recyclers, they're the tacklers, and this is the same that's happening over in the sister side over at FPL. Like, you're seeing more Caicedo, you're seeing more.
This is it. But I mean, the biggest change week to week is not the positions or the points scored, because the average points actually went slightly down. It's not who did well, who did badly. It's that last week there were 10 clean sheets. This week there were 2. So it's an attacker's week, and yet we don't have 3 high-scoring strikers, because it just seems to be a bit more energetic, a bit more total football-y, and a bit more chaotic. Like you said, the guys who go from back to front, the guys who get the damn ball back and do something with it. And that's why there's 5 in the midfield team of the week. So starting off with the player who I've been watching for years, and I still can't pronounce his name, Everton
Derby. That was a game. I'm surprised it wasn't Jack Grealish in this team, to be perfectly honest. He was brilliant in that game. He was fantastic. We will talk about this in a couple of minutes, obviously. But
in terms of actual scoreable points,
volume of work put in.
Yeah, he was good on the attacking stuff, not so much on the defensive stuff. But what you've got there is all the hallmarks of a good game, because you got Gay at 26 and then Gravenberch at 27. Gravenberch, who's one of these classic DMs. He won't win you matches, but he might win you a championship kind of guy. Now, I do think he scored this week, did he not, in a rare event? But he's also stuck in every week. So again, with the DM, the risk is that if you're not one of the top 3 or 4 DMs, you need a goal to break into this team. If you are one of the top 3 or 4 DMs, you'll get there without it. I think that's the difference between a Gravenberch and a Caicedo. Caicedo can get there without scoring. Gravenberch generally doesn't.
And then up front, obviously, it's
Jaden Anthony for Burnley. You skipped a couple. There's a couple of frequent
sorry, I did. Apologies, yes.
Bruno's there on 28 points, despite United being, what they are. Stach for Leeds, once again.
Winning well. It was actually a very good game. We will talk.
I still can't comprehend that this actually happened. Leeds, 29 points for Stack again. He has popped up a couple of times now, so keep an eye out there. He's the only safe asset, and we said it right at the start. And our favourite remaining asset at Brentford now is no longer Nathan Collins or Queven Kelleher. It's Mikkel Damsgaard with a saucy 29 points out on the wing. And then out front, it's the lad with the funny name, Jaden Anthony for Burnley. Not quite sure how we found ourselves in a world where a Burnley forward is one of the highest scoring players, but
I don't know either. But it's obviously a lot of the aerials. It was against Nottingham Forest, so it was obviously a very you can start. You're already starting to see the Ange fingerprints all over that Forest team. It's very it's interesting to see. So he was obviously running at that defense quite a lot, and linking up play and winning aerial
Yeah.
battles. And
So
already,
if we're
what I've seen
diving,
from him is he's busy. He's a very all action type center forward. Seems to be the case. I wouldn't be
yeah.
picking him, and I wouldn't be looking at him anytime soon.
So the key numbers this week for him, obviously there's a goal there, but there was a rake of shots on target. There was key passes, there was crosses. He's, like you said, it's all action. He's go, high pace, high speed, getting stuck in. If he's not scoring, he's creating chances or creating chances to create chances. I don't think we're going to see this level from him consistently.
Absolutely
But
not. It's one
team
of
of the
those. It was
week
one of those
is
days.
it was he's having his moment in the sun, and that's great. But the thing about team of the week is that it's not going to tell you who you should have drafted at the start. It's going to tell you who to keep an eye on in the week to come. And if they start to become a pattern, then you jump on them. Because if everything Burnley is going through them, it doesn't matter how slim Burnley's chances are. A Premier League team playing through you will mean stats on data points. So that's our 11 for the week. I don't expect to see a lot of them there again next week. I wouldn't bet against Donnarumma.
Oh, absolutely not.
Donnarumma is the one that jumps out at me because we've been waiting so long for a City goalkeeper to actually be good at fantasy as well. Because the problem with Ederson was that he didn't do anything, and it wasn't his fault. It's because he had the best defense in the world in front of him for 5 years.
Ooh, Pep is changing.
Pep's changing.
Do we jump into?
Let's go there. Let's talk about the football.
Because we start at the obvious place, the Arsenal City game, because
Yes.
Pep went against every Pep principle. I don't know if you got to see the highlight yet of the Erling Haaland goal, but it's Borussia Dortmund Haaland, where
run it through the middle.
Ran through the middle. Here's a nice dink ball. Oh, you have a place to run. Go. And it was more soaking up pressure type. And it was very like in the last 10 minutes, City played like prime Mourinho. I know they conceded because obviously this is not what they're used to, but it was literally the opposite of what Pep stands for in football. They had 10 men in the box, and like the one time they stepped up the line is when Eze put the ball through to Martinelli. Right.
Yeah, I would imagine it's very, very hard for a Pep team like City to suddenly play Burnley, like play Dyche ball. I will say this though, for the last 2 days, all I've seen is Arsenal fans complaining about City's behaviour and playing too defensively when they were ahead. I would like to remind any Arsenal fans listening that what you're complaining about them doing is being like you.
Playing for set pieces, playing for defensive level football.
They don't like it up them, John. They don't like it up them.
It's weird. It's like the Arsenal thing. It's one of those things. It's like it's fine when you do it. And there's a part of me that's just like I'm actually sick of listening to you now. I'm sick of it. Like
I mean, this was the perfect reversal of, was it Spurs City last year? Spurs went down to 10 and they parked the bus like you've never seen, and the City players just line the edge of the box. If City do that back to Arsenal, if Arsenal get caught out because their favourite tactic is now being used against them, that's very sad.
Isn't that exactly what they did against Liverpool?
Exactly the same thing.
Like I'm all for different styles of football. I don't like the idea, and it's become this modern thing. It's like, here's our system, and we play it through the backs, and we do this and we do that. And it's like, Gucci, that's fine. Do you boo and all that, but like there is a place for going, and like Thomas Frank is very good for it, and it's reflected in Tottenham's form. He looks at each match individually and goes, right, this is what we're going to do today. If that's a team that's going to come and like City, they play out from the back. They try to basically get you to come onto them and play through you. Then Thomas Frank is going to go, nah, we're not going to play to your game. Like there's different ways of playing. You have the Sean Dyche way, you have the David Moyes way, you have like this idea that everybody has to play Pep football.
It's nonsense. It drove me crazy watching De Zerbi try it at Brighton. You know?
But the fact that Pep isn't playing Pep, like prime Pep ball, like there's a time and a place to change it up. Erling Haaland's strongest assets are speed, power, efficiency.
Finishing.
Shit, why weren't we playing to that strength? Cool. maybe now when we have players more like O'Reiners and more like a Doku and stuff like that, maybe we need to play more transition
Mhm.
style football and get it to the quick guy who can play and break it. And it's like a
Yeah, I mean, it's strange to
like
see
you know,
Pep go defensive, but I imagine there's probably a little bit more pressure on him this year in terms of
it's
results.
not even going defensive. It's not even going defensive. It's changing up. Like I don't see it as defensive. Going right when we get the ball, let's give it to Doku, or let's try find a way of isolating Hallam one on one with a defender high up the pitch so he has the run on him. Like that is Gabriel's worst nightmare. Is Erling Haaland running past him at full tilt? It's like cool. Let's see if we can create situations where players with our strengths have their benefits. Like
Yeah,
you know,
let's get the return
and
from the skills. I mean, Haaland at this point, like we need to talk about him in terms of fantasy
so good.
football. He's got 6 goals in 5
He's,
games.
he's,
It was all over for him last year. We slagged him off a lot for being a goal. This year, he's not goal acting. He's just putting the thing in the hole. I gotta say, fair play to the young man. If you can get him, fair play.
you know, he strikes me as a very interesting character. Remember we had this conversation
Yeah.
over the summer, and he was added to the captaincy group of City, and the other players there are like, you know, David or Bernardo Silva and Ruben Diaz and Guardiola, and you're like, okay, stronger senior. It's like, okay, this is about responsibility and going. This is about that, and you can and like he's scary right now. Like City aren't, but he is. He's like, if we're gonna go places on my shoulders, let's party rock. Like
he looks as dangerous as he ever
terrifying.
has. He looks as dangerous as he did 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? When he came in and basically upended how the statistics work.
Terrifying. He could break the Premier League goal record in like what, a third of the time that Alan Shearer did it in. If he
on this form, he could.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And you know, it's not that he has suddenly become a playmaker or dropped deep like Son did the last couple of years at Spurs. He's just kind of grown up a bit and gotten right. What am I good at?
Well, he is young, and
you know.
Well, his first year he blew the Premier League away. Last year, he still ended up second or third highest goal scorer. It's like, and it's like, oh no, Haaland's not him. It's like,
15 plus, I think.
If your bad season is being in the top 3 leading goal scorers,
you're doing all right.
That like put some respect on the name in that sense. If your bad season is being in the top 3, top 5 goal scorers in the season, it's like let's be realistic, guys. And he's going. I reckon he's going to just walk away with the Golden Boot this year. I don't even think it's going to be a competition.
I tell you,
if you're banking
doing more of this year than he did before. Because I had pointed this out a long time ago. I can't remember if it was on air, but for a big lad who scores lots of goals, he tended to use mostly his feet. His stats for aerial have gone way up.
Are increasing?
Way up.
Yeah. But City are also putting the ball in the box.
Yep.
There's more crosses at City this year.
They're going higher and it's working.
It's less linear football now.
And it is so bizarre to look at a fella who's, what's he, like 9'12", and go, yeah, but he doesn't score with his head as much as most do. But he will this year.
But it's also hard to score with your head if you're in a team that plays with inverted wingers and has no intention of crossing the
exactly.
ball. It's about, like, the Jack Grealish thing at City was, let me get to the byline and pass it back to the fullback. Like, but this year it's more, if you've isolated your fullback, hit him. These are his assets. We have a centre forward who is the best number 9 in world football, bar none. It's just a fact. He's the best. I know that might upset Liverpool fans, but
it upsets me. I don't like City.
Haaland is the best number 9 in football. It's just a fact. Let's get on with it. And the fact that it's like,
beg, borrow, or steal.
So if you have that, why? Like, I just didn't understand at times last year why they didn't play to that strength.
I mean, last year, I suspect that Man City's problems last year were around the life and mind of their coach. And we won't go into personal stuff, but we know the dude had personal stuff to deal with that very often throws off everything else. But I'm just looking here through the look at the other side, right? If you look at Arsenal from the point of view of fantasy football, it's all defenders and defensive midfielders are who's shining. Calafiori, Timber, Rice, Zubimendi. Okay, Zubimendi's a bit more attacking and he's only started to shine lately, but right.
See, there's an element of rotation out the front because of injuries and stuff like that. Like Odegaard wasn't even in the squad at the
Sure,
weekend.
but you know who's
Bukayo Saka
not
was
scoring?
on the weekend.
John, do you remember some time ago you referred to a striker as a giant waste of money?
I did. I wouldn't go that far. He does have 2 goals in 4 games, or 2 goals in 5 games.
Expensive goals.
He's or 3 goals, 2 or 3 goals. He's going to be fine. My thing is here, right? And this is what I was trying to explain. If you again look at his numbers in Portugal, he's scoring runs of his goals against Rio Ave, Estoril, Piacasso. Like they're all real teams. Or Piacasso. Anyway, like they're real teams. Do you know what I mean? You have never heard. Like, can you name a team in Portugal outside of Benfica Sport?
Oh, of course I can't. They don't get me points.
Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't. And like I even said it over the weekend. He gives me a whiff of the Romelu Lukaku's. If you get me, like if you look back at Romelu Lukaku's record at Man United, it fucking stacks. It's a goal every second game. It's 1-2 ratio. If you were to say to Arsenal fans now that Gyökeres in 3 years' time ratio is going to be a 1-2 goal scoring ratio, would they go, "Fuck yeah, that's our man. He's class"? We go, "Okay, fine. Take his 2-1 ratio, but he's not going to score against any of the top 7 teams in the league."
I get you, but
he's putting 2 past the West Brom. He's putting 3 past Sunderland. He's putting, he's against the bottom 5 to 10 teams. That's when he's doing like 2 games against Burnley.
But that's the problem, John, is that if Arsenal were able to beat the big teams, Arsenal will be able to win the fucking league. But they don't because they can't.
And this is my thing about the Gyökeres. And this is my thing about the Gyökeres thing. His numbers will stack. He is a good player. I don't disagree with any of this. My issue in the summer was for the money that you're going to pay for him. Is he going to be the guy that brings you from where you are to over the line for a championship? The answer for me, having seen him, having been one of the few people, because I've been bollocked on the internet for this take. I'm one of the few who actually I lived in fucking Portugal. I went to sporting matches. He's a good striker. He is a good striker. He's going to be a very fine Premier League striker, but he's not going to be the guy that brings Arsenal from second to first. They'll be second to second, and he'll bag 15 to 20 goals, but 5 of them are probably going to be against Burnley.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Okay, well that actually does. If you're right, that makes him a decent fantasy asset because obviously we don't care who your goals are scored against. But if I'm an Arsenal fan, I would not be. I'm going to be kind of looking at Erling Haaland and I'm going to be looking at Gyökeres and I'm going to be going, well, when do we get one of those? And it's the same thing for United fans,
And this is what I'm talking about. It's like Salah scores numbers. But also look at the games he does it. Like Salah scores against Man United. It's just pretty much every time Salah plays United.
Yeah, he's having his quiet season. His 2 goals and 2 assists in 5 games. Like that's his quiet season in a team full of strikers.
Liverpool haven't even popped off yet. But like the last thing I will say about the Arsenal thing is because it's a nice transition piece. They have an identical record to their North London rivals right now, barring 1 goal conceded. You say Spurs and Arsenal have the exact same Premier League record right now. The only difference is Brighton and Spurs were 2-2. Arsenal and City were 1-1.
I have to.
Same points. It's one goal each direction. It's a 1 goal.
I have to talk about this, right? And I have only one thing to say about.
Is that Luke Shaw?
No.
Ow. Ow. No. This is a comment on TikTok. Ow. That hurt my face.
Are you sure they're talking about you?
You're not wrong. Well, it's definitely not you. I also do enjoy pike here.
So I'm that Scottish coach lad for Villa. What you call it? I'm going to say this on the Spurs Brighton fiasco last week. Brighton were about to be the team that beat Spurs and City this year and keep losing to significantly inferior, shitty, cheating teams like Fulham. And I know an own goal can.
You have to stop this shitty cheating because we had the VAR bullshit. Again, I'm
hold
sorry.
on.
Actually, no,
Let me get this
fuck
out.
you now.
Let me get this out.
No, fuck you. You've just triggered my. You've triggered my
I
Rodrigo
know.
Muniz rant. His goal at the weekend, perfectly good.
It was.
Fuck that.
It was. I know. I only do it
Fuck
because it
all of
hurts
that.
you. I will say this of the
Fuck
own
you. That's
goal.
fucking 3 VAR decision.
I will say this of the own goal that happened to poor John Paul Eka, because nobody scores own goals. They happen to you. But I will say this. If that was Lewis Dunk, he would have chested it straight into the goalie's hands, because that's what he does every game. Every game. So it was very, very unfortunate. I know we talked about Lewis and he's moving into the light, and John Paul is the future. But it was just such an unfortunate way for that game to be thrown away, putting Spurs back in the top three and driving Brighton back closer to the places we don't want to be. So very, very unfortunate. But yeah, Spurs are shit hot right now.
The Believer thing is also very interesting. Another game he was hooked at halftime. Believer was hooked at halftime again.
Yeah, Believer, who was going to be the
What's
answer.
That, 2 half times and 1 substitute appearance?
I mean, he's a good player, but we should have taken the United money. You should always take the United money because it's extra. There's always more of it than there should be. No matter who you're selling to United, you're going to get 20-25% that you don't deserve. We probably should have sold them. But look, it's a team that's very, very fluid and hard to predict. They're a nightmare for fantasy. Nightmare for fantasy because it's always subs and it's always rotation. Do not pick up Brighton assets except for Mitoma. That's the only one that's safe. Nothing else is safe with Brighton.
De Kuiper and Mitoma.
De Kuiper's going to get rotated as well. Wait and see. Everyone's getting rotated except Mitoma, because Mitoma is frankly a class above the rest of that squad. He is.
I'm surprised.
That's the thing that people keep saying to me. Yeah, is like, geez, your boy Mitoma is fantastic. How is he still there? And it's like, well,
I think they're pricing him out. I think he's going to fall into the kind of Wilfred Zaha space of, I'll be trapped here because the club I'm at are going to. No club is going to want to spend the money at my age of what my club are asking for. Not that it's bad money or anything like this. Like what would Mitoma cost? What's a fair price for Mitoma?
Mitoma now or Mitoma 3 years ago?
Because he's not particularly big. He's not particularly strong.
He's incredibly flexible though.
Like
I've seen him play everything from right back to left wing. Like everything.
Yeah, he's a fantastic fucker. Like he's a very, very good
player.
I
would say, given his age, I would say 50. Yeah.
50. Yeah. And you know what? There's one of the guys in the stream here, the boys, he actually put 50 down as well.
Good man.
Yeah, I think 50 is a fair price for him. Let me flip the question back. Nana Madueke was 50. Alanga was in and around that.
Madueke is not bad this year.
No, I know. Look, don't get me wrong. It's working at the moment, and all well and good. But is Mitoma better than those two?
He's better than Madueke. He's more valuable. It's not the same thing. Arsenal are buying out front to have rotation options, whereas Mitoma is almost at the level where he can play anywhere.
But like this, 50 was the base price for it. Like he's better than Alanga.
He is better than Alanga, yeah.
He is better.
But this is what I'm saying, is that a fair price would be 50.
And it should be, but the problem is Brighton are going to go, well, 80, 90, and if you're...
Yeah, this is it. Anybody but United won't play that
fit.
United would.
Well, the places that he could potentially go would be City. I think he'd fit very well at City. I think he'd fit very
crowded
well
midfield. My worry there is that he would fall victim to Pep and become another Manuel Akanji, where he can play anywhere.
He would, and this would be the problem. Like the places where he could go would be abroad, and they're not putting 80, 90 down on that. It would be more 30, 40. And Brighton aren't selling him for 30, 40. So I think he's going to be one of those guys that's trapped in that limbo state. Unless he has a season that blows the roof off the place, and then somebody has to go, oh fuck, okay, we need to have a bit of that.
Fortunately, he's there for the next 4 months anyway, so I'm going to enjoy that. I didn't enjoy the Spurs game. It was very, very frustrating, but to be fair, Spurs have been very, very good. And if you had asked me before the game started, would I take a draw against Spurs? I'd have said yeah.
Absolutely. Well, from a winning position.
But yeah, they're sitting in third now, level with Arsenal and Bournemouth.
Level with Arsenal. You had the West London Derby, obviously, Fulham Brentford. That was actually, I was in this thing about the new football times. A nice 8 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday is nice.
It means I can watch 5 games in a row on a Saturday if I'm not working.
I felt sick by the time I went to bed. I sat down with a breakfast roll. I finished the stream at 12, right? Literally the what's it called game, the Merseyside Derby on first up and running. Went into the 3:00 because over here in Ireland we have Premier Sports, which puts on one of the 3:00 games, which was the Spurs Brighton game. You had the 5:30 game, which was the Newcastle. No, it wasn't. It was the United Chelsea game, and then Brentford Fulham after that.
It's a fine day.
Anthony Robinson's been passed fully fit from now. He's going to start in the Carabao Cup this week. He's back. Ryan Sessegnon with another fucking assist this weekend. Alex Iwobi doing Alex Iwobi things. I'm shocked he wasn't in the team of the week with a goal and an assist.
It was close. He was very, very close. But I think he came in on 23.
Yeah, it must have been. It must have been.
Let me just check it there for you now, my good man. He came in on
Fulham are
25.
Fulham are getting fucked by the referees.
I mean, look, take the win, bro. I mean, 3-1. I know it's Brentford, but take the win.
I will take the win, but this is 3 out of 5 games now where there's been a VAR decision, which is obviously incorrect. It's obviously incorrect. I'm not doing this big six cartel shit, or it's just do you know what it is? It's easy to give decisions against them because they're a nice team.
Is that a thing? Do people think that VAR works for the big six?
It's a thing that the likes of Villa fans and Newcastle.
Oh, right. Is this like injury time and the draws and the refs and everything is always...
Oh, yeah. Everything goes to the Cartel 6.
No, okay. If anybody's listening and they're worried about this Cartel 6 that I've just heard of, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the reason that they win everything is because they have butt tons of money. And that, I'm afraid, is a pattern through most of life. The rich guys have all the fun. Sorry, lads.
Well, see, the thing about this Cartel 6 is like, oh, well, they're the ones who voted for FFP so they could close the door and the likes of Newcastle and Villa actually stepping through the gears. Because Newcastle have obviously South and it's like, who voted on this thing about putting in these cost parameters? Oh, the big six. Anything with the new technology, and then supposedly getting decisions because it's better for the league if these teams get the decisions because people are watching it. This is the conspiracy.
But sure, just Fulham and Brentford aren't fucking big six. Fulham and Brighton weren't big six.
No, but this is another game with another result against. And also, by the way, if any of those decisions go through, Premier League, it's 14 out of the 20 clubs who need to vote in favour of it, or 15 out of the 20 need to vote in favour of it. So fuck yourself.
They win. He's angry.
Again, but did you see them in his goal? It was beautiful. I can't wait for him to pop off.
He's just been threatening to for a long time.
He's been. I obviously watch enough of their football, and obviously, it is my bias. But I've spotted players like Josh King. I've been rattling from him since last year.
And did you see the reception he got last week? And he's shining. King is absolutely coming into his own now. Can I?
Do you want to talk? We have a comment here talking about the Villa games against Sunderland. Yeah, oldest squad in the Premier League.
Really? Okay.
I was reading on the Athletic actually earlier on. It was the piece was actually it was really interesting. If anybody doesn't read the Athletic, I prefer the Athletic to a lot of the other ones because it's behind a cheap paywall, and the journalists go into real long form details, so you pick up a few little chicken nuggets on the way. But your man was basically explaining how Emery, the squad is getting older. Villa haven't replenished. They had a great transfer last January, but they were temporary. Rashford and Asensio aren't there now.
Well, Asensio is getting on a bit, and Rashford's no spring chicken himself.
Well, but they were only loaners. And this year it's Harvey Elliott and Sancho, and they haven't been integrated into the team yet. Watkins looks like he has lost the art of pace out of. Watkins looks like he's lost the art of pace now. I don't know what's happening there. Is he carrying a weird little niggle?
He's nowhere this year, And do you know what? He was nowhere for a couple of months at the end of last year either. This isn't news. This has been going on for a while.
I said this. If anybody goes back and looks at my predictions from last week, I said, and I'm over on TikTok. If I'm the reason why you kept Ollie Watkins in your team, I do
future reference.
Because
Listen to the numbers guy.
It can't hold.
Don't drop Watkins. It's not happening. He's gonna. You know what? As soon as I say that now, he's gonna brace for hat trick next week. Like, but no, it's just not happening.
But this was my theory. I was like, they're playing Sunderland. Sunderland had that new Premier League team bounce. That wheel is going to come off that bus eventually. Ollie Watkins' bus is going to take off eventually. It just seemed like a nice crossing of paths. And Villa were fucking dog shit. They just look slow. They just look a little bit lethargic. John McGinn looks like he's missed a bit of a step as combative as he is. Yuri Tielemans missing is huge. Sancho and Harry Elliott haven't been integrated into the squad yet. But that's also a lot of pressure because it's not going to be Sancho. Sancho's going to do what he's done at every other club for the last couple of years. I'll show up for 2 weeks, remind everybody I can play football, fuck off for 8 weeks, and then when the traffic dies down online, I'll bounce out and do a bit there for a half of football with one nice pass, and then fuck off again. Harvey Elliott has bags potential. I think he's a bit of a dildo of a human being because of the Fulham history there, but you can't deny he is a fantastic footballer.
But he was never going to get game time ahead of Salah. I get why he moved as well. It was a great move for him. The thing about Sunderland, though, and this thing of like it, and it's old school FPL thinking.
Yeah, but they went down to 10 men. Yeah. They went down to 10 men. Villa couldn't beat it. They were 1-0 up against a 10-man Sunderland and managed to draw the game.
So I'm going to shout some form team names at you right now. They are teams that are doing pretty well, considering where they were this time last year, or maybe considering their stature that they finished last year. Everton, City, Fulham, Chelsea. Sunderland have conceded fewer goals than any of them. And we're 5 games in.
I believe it, but like they had a red card in 33rd minute of the game. Villa didn't break them down to the 67th, so 1-0 up against a team that should have all the energy. So, like, this is the thing, right? If you go 1-0 up against a team, great. If a team goes down to 10 men, it can be really fucking hard at times because it's tooth and nail, it's scrapping, it's bodies on the line, it is war of attrition style football. But when you get broken, and this is what happens 99 times out of 100, when Matty Cash's goal went in, the team with 10 men normally
sure.
And go, fuck. Like, our resolve has been broken. You've broken our spirit. You've taken our soul. All this kind of jazz.
Oh, look.
It took a whole 7 minutes for them to level it.
I mean, look, if you want to talk about 10-man teams getting their spirit broken.
I will in a second, but I'm not done with this. Like, Aston Villa are in major trouble, and I'm starting to get to, like, they're going to be fine. I know they will, but, like, Emery needs to now start earning his wage because right now Villa they look like a ship without a sail. They look like a predator with no teeth. They're just. I know they'll be fine because what'll happen here is fucking the couple of new lads are going to be embedded in. Like you're gonna see the point I'm making about Lindelof in a couple of weeks when he starts getting minutes in the tank. The expectation at Man United versus Villa isn't the same. He's better than Tyrone Mings. He's better than Ezri Konsa. It is. Harvey Elliott starts. Sancho is a bum. Leave him off. But Harvey Elliott makes a huge difference. But my major concern here is Ollie Watkins.
It's just not firing.
Has he had his day?
I mean, I don't know what age he is. That's not a number I look at. But I can tell you this. He did absolutely nothing this week except a couple of passes and get caught offside a couple of times. So he's hemorrhaging points every week. The passes are low volume. The pass completion rate is fine. Plenty of bad tackles and plenty of offsides. There's no shots. There's no key passes. There's certainly no crosses. There's certainly no goals. As an attacker, statistically, he is one of the worst big name forwards in the Premier League right now. And I know that kind of thing is awful to say about a fella who's going through a dry spell because it happens to all strikers. And there's no doubting that Ollie Watkins has been a nailed-on, amazing striker in the past. But this year, he's just a cabbage that someone has rolled onto the pitch. And I don't know what that's about. If that's age, is that, like you said, is there a hidden injury? Is it that he's not getting fed enough ball? But I would think that with an old squad comes experience.
Some of it has been service. Some of it has been a service problem. But this is the whole thing of like he had a couple of very big chances in that game as well. He did have a couple of big chances, but there's stuff he was snatching at or something he got caught offside with, or like the pieces you're talking about, like the offside. Like he had, Was it last night or did you just fucking balloon it? I can't remember. Because I watched a crazy amount of football this weekend. But like, I did like, and we had. I'll give you our sponsor update after this one before we go talk about another team with an unbeaten streak. Oh, transition. But yeah, no, it's one of those things of he's getting caught on the offside, he's getting the chances and stuff like this. It's just not happening. I do think it will click.
I'm worried. I'm actually really, really worried because I like the guy. He's a good baller. There's nothing to dislike about him really, but he's just not doing it this year. So avoid for now. If he comes good, it's going to take a while. It's going to take something changing at Villa.
I would be taking him out of your teams, any teams on any platforms.
If you have him in draft, bench him in case he comes good. Because he's got 443 minutes in 5 weeks, so he's getting game time. If he's in your FPL team,
for how long
he's not been paying attention.
But if this continues for how long,
if he's in your head-to-head team, get rid of him because you're going to he's going to cost games.
In any kind of classic models, get him
absolutely.
What's called? So just quickly, do you know the way we sponsor a little local football team? So we sponsor here at StatrCast. We sponsor the Somerville Rovers Junior B football team. Limerick. It's just a nice little entry level into our sponsorship, and now we are biased because I happen to be the coach of this team, and we are 6 games unbeaten so far. And from last season to this season, we're currently 12 games.
That's some run, mate.
So far, which is we're doing nicely. We're going for a League and Cup double this year, whatever. We'll talk about that at the end of the season. I am Jose Mourinho.
You are, yeah.
Yeah. As I've been called Luke Shaw twice on this stream, and it's just starting to get hurt. I got a haircut.
I see that. Right? You look great. Don't worry, I didn't.
But what I was going to say was there's a team there that has a better.
There is, and it's fantastic.
Well, there's actually 2. There's only 2 unbeaten teams in the Premier League this year.
There's 2. Now, we discussed this earlier on, and I was a little bit distracted instead of paying enough attention to
Liverpool. Obviously,
Liverpool are 5 from 5. Oh, I know who it is, and it hurts me as a seagull, but I know who it is. It's them.
Yeah, it's Palace.
It's Palace.
And also from last season to this season, it's 17 games unbeaten, which is second best to their all-time unbeaten run. And the only other team with an unbeaten run so far in the Premier League also happens to be the team that they're playing next week in Liverpool. So somebody's unbeaten run is going to end unless they draw.
That's going to be some game.
This is how I love football. It's like a soap opera. They ran over West Ham 2-1. Graham Potter's in the shit.
There's no salvaging that now. It's just a matter.
By all accounts, Nuno's waiting in the wings.
Is it Nuno? Okay.
It's Nuno. Nuno's waiting in the wings. And you know what? Looking at the makeup of that West Ham squad,
it works.
It's a fit. It's a fit.
What does that look like? I mean, who are the assets that we should be keeping an eye on if Nuno gets the West Ham job?
If it's Nuno, Nicholas Fulkrug, he becomes your Chris Wood.
Right. Big target man, right?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka becomes your Alaina.
Wan-Bissaka is a tricky one. He's so strong on tackles and interceptions. So strong. And nothing else.
Yeah. But you get you get my point.
It's out winging in. Yeah.
Jarrod Bowen is Jarrod Bowen. Like he's gonna dance. He's gonna dance to that. Like he's just great. Paqueta is still Paqueta. The forward problem is a problem. Like I know they've been playing Callum Wilson, but once Fulkrug is fit again, he was very good in preseason. Got a little nibbly injury. He's a pure Nuno striker.
Oh, he is
pure Nuno striker. He's a pure.
His Niall Quinitude is very high.
And what see there is when Nuno gets the job, they're going to finish off their front line with Adama Traore because Nuno tries to buy him everywhere they go. And he tried to buy him in the summer. Before he left. And what you're going to see there is at Christmas, Nuno's going to sign Adama Traore. You're going to have Adama Traore on one side. You're going to have Paqueta in the 10. You're going to have Fulkrug up top. And you're going to have Bowen on the right. And Graham Potter's getting sacked in the next international break. They're in major shit. The connection. This is where his lack of charisma really affects him, because when it was David Moyes in the job, and I hate harking back to that because he's 2 managers ago, but when the time came for the Braveheart battle cry, like the stadium would be hopping, and he would have had something in the program notes or in the press during the week. We're gonna fire. It's backs against the wall, the world's against us. Let's fucking go! And the fans are coming in with that energy. Well, Graham Potter's like, trust the process, guys. If we keep doing our things, it's all going to get better, and it's all slow. He's a more methodical man, but with a fan base like West Ham,
You need raw.
It's not even that. It's authenticity. It's passion. He has no charisma. So when the shit hits the fan, it's like, look at Amorim at United. He's just vibing his press conferences through. He's going in there. It's like, you were wank last week. He's like, yeah, I was. Yeah, we were. Like, I know this, you know this. What are you giving out to me about? But Potter doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, that little bit of press magic. That shouldn't define a manager. That should not.
You don't reckon Nuno hangs on for Old Trafford?
No.
A lot of money.
No, because if that happens, it'll be Oliver Glasner, it'll be Marco Silva, it'll be Xavi.
Okay.
One of the three.
Okay. I mean, it's going to happen.
I don't see that. I don't think so.
I actually don't think so. Could they have for keeping?
We'll touch on that in a second.
Let's talk United.
But just to finish off, Palace 2-1 up, and that's despite selling Eze in the summer. That's despite selling Elise a year ago. And somebody's put up a picture of Mateta, Elise, and Eze going, might be the best front three put together in the Premier League era outside of the top six. And I looked at it and went,
it's hard to argue with. I mean, Mateta's occasionally patchy, and I'll never forgive him for the end of the 23 season. But
sure, but it was Elise, Eze, Mateta, and going, is this the best three in Premier League history outside of?
I mean, I would say maybe there's more actual excitement at the back, and it's Lacroix, Gahey, Mitchell, and.
No, but this is 2 years ago. Now it's obviously they've brought in Pino, they have Kamada, they have Papi Sarr, but it is more Kamada and Pino. That Pino kid.
They look at it. It hurts me. It hurts me to say that as a Brighton fan, but they really are the form team.
Yeah, keep a little eye on him. But yeah, West Ham are screwed. Well, West Ham will be fine, but Graham Potter won't be. Expect Nuno in that job by Halloween. And on to the last game that we want to look at today, the Honours. So
I want to once again congratulate people who live the lifestyle of being a Man United fan. You managed to win against a team whose goalie was sent off at the start of the game.
Did you see the game?
I saw bits.
I don't think that's fair. I think
that's what happened.
Yeah, they won. They won the game of football.
Explain something to me. Explain to me a tactical decision that was made shortly afterwards, right? I get that Robert Sanchez, who has been really good this year when he's good, made a tactical decision to keep a goal out very early that cost him more than the goal would have, right? We know that was the wrong decision. Why the fuck do you take off Cole Palmer 10 minutes later?
They were talking about an injury, but the reality was United had City or Chelsea in major trouble. Chelsea were falling. Chelsea were in a. Did you watch it?
As much as I could.
Oh, there was about a 15-minute period in the first half where it was ball after ball after. It was like watching the last 5 minutes of a game when a team has a 1-0 lead to hold on to, and the other team are going to try level it up to get it to extra time.
They were that all over them?
It was just ball after that all over them. Like I'd say for 10 minutes, Chelsea didn't step foot in the United half. It was. They took off both the wingers, brought on a defender, and the spare goalkeeper, and basically went, okay, do you know what we do now? And this is precisely what I was saying at the top of this program about Reece James. They essentially had played a back 5-3, 5-3-1. Missing a player.
Right, but he just strikes me as a
so essentially the two guys, Cucurella and James, essentially had the job of going, you have to cover that whole fucking channel by yourself.
Two good men for it, to be fair. Cucurella now, he's one we've slept on for a long time, to be fair. He's solid.
Yeah. I would say currently he's the best left back in the Premier League at the moment. From
Kirkes has started to look good again, though. He's started to show little flashes this weekend.
He played good this week. He played bad the week before. He played decent the week before that. Bad.
Wait and see.
He's not bad. Kirkes for me is top 3 in the Premier League right now. Cucurella is number 1.
Fair enough.
And for me, Anthony Robinson is number 2 because, again, as I've prattled on about, if you look at his numbers, same assists as Saka
Oh,
last year.
Robinson's a given. I mean, we've built the temple to Anthony Robinson several
Well, for
times.
me,
But
it's
yeah, Cucurella up there.
Cucurella, Robinson, Kirkland.
And Cucurella is really undervalued.
Oh, sorry, you've also got.
Yeah,
those are the ones I would say.
I'd find it hard to disagree, my good man. I would find it very hard to disagree.
Like,
but
like, and that like, but the sending off was.
And then Casemiro did the Casemiro thing, didn't he? He treats yellow cards like Pokemon, and he wants them all.
I have this weird thing with it, right? Yes, both fouls are yellow cards, right? Yes, they both are. But there's a thing of like levels to this, right? If you get me, the fella's already on a yellow. Normally, for a foul as light as it is, because it's not like he went through him and it was like a yellow to red or a stone wall yellow. It was one of those ones where the fella's coming past you, you put the arm across him to try pull him back. By the letter of law, it's yellow, but you see them getting a fella getting a little talking to by the referee 3-4 times a game. Like, yeah, by the letter of the law, it's a second fucking yellow. But that specific incident happens so many times in a Premier League match. If you were to book every player for every time that type of incident happens, you're looking at fucking 4 red cards a game.
Do you know what's a great way to?
It's a very low threshold.
It was a very low threshold for a second red or second yellow. But if you want to guarantee yourself a card on a marginal decision, act like Casemiro. He's the same as Paulinho. The two of them are dirty buggers. They're always where they shouldn't be.
But this is the thing. No, see, there's a thing here where Casemiro's actually been sent off 4 times now in his 3 years at United. And I would say 3 of the 4 of them have been harsh. One of them was overturned.
Yeah.
One of them was overturned, remember?
Yeah.
Last year, the first of the 2.
I think if the ref knows your name before you start playing, you've got a problem. You know?
Yeah, but like, again, if you're a defensive midfielder at that level for that long, it's like Sergio Ramos walks out into a pitch and a referee just goes, "Will I give you the booking now or will I wait?"
yeah. Fair game. It's just he does.
Do you know what I mean?
Trouble seems to find him. You know what I mean?
It just seems like a very low threshold to me for a second yellow.
The thing about Casemiro though is, you know, and I know, if it wasn't that one that was the second yellow, the next one would have been.
Yeah, but if they get and this is the thing, if the referee went, "Oi, you," they'd have done the Ugarte sub that they were because Ugarte came on for Sesko.
Mm-hmm.
No, the referee gives you the warning, and then the manager goes, "Take him off before he's taken off." This is managerial 101. Once your player if your player's been yellow carded and he gets a warning,
get him out of there.
This is manager basics going. No, referee has his card mark. Get him the fuck out of there.
So what would you have done differently with United at the weekend?
Differently?
Are you happy? Is this it? Are they back?
No. Like, I think when they were in the ascendancy and in the period before they took Casemiro off, in my book, I would have gone and put a Manu onto the pitch at that point, because you had the extra man. At that point, you wanted a ball controller, and United weren't efficient. So what happened there was a point in the first half where United were so far in the ascendancy where it looked like they were going to put 3-4 past them in the first half. They started playing with their food rather than putting them to the sword. And Bruno did one of these slide rule passes to try and get Sesko his first goal, rather than just breaking the back of the fucking net himself and putting Chelsea to the absolute sword. And that would have been 3. It would have been game over. And instead, it was like, I want my mate to get his first goal. I want my mate to get his first goal. And like, nothing wrong. Look, I get it. There's times in football for it, and when you're playing against a team with 10 men, you feel comfortable. You're 2-0, it's really good. Potentially the time to do it, but from a managerial perspective, I don't need my extra defensive midfielder. Get on my little ball shuttler.
Mm-hmm.
This Chelsea team are fucking tired. Who's the guy who shapes the ball around nicely with quick feet? Okay, get Manu on, get Casemiro off, and just be fucking relentless. Those are the only thing I would have done differently. Chelsea played their game plan awfully. They did the panic and fear that came across, like losing your goalkeeper that early in the game. It's pretty fat shit. But yeah, after Bruno's goal, up to Casemiro's goal, it could have been 3 and 4 if United weren't dicking around. And they were all at sea. Chelsea were all at sea. They subbed off both the wing. Garnacho's getting pelters from the crowd. Doesn't even get off the bench.
Yeah.
Didn't even get off the bench because of the circumstance of the game. It was just one of those games where it was a fascinating watch, probably for the wrong reasons. If that makes sense. It was a good game. It was a good game of football because it was all over the place. You had Chelsea with 10 men, Palmer sitting on the bench, fucking United bringing off their new expensive striker because Casemiro lost the run of himself. If there was ever a game for him to break his ducks against a 10-man Chelsea who were floundering, United left them off the hook to an extent, even though they got the job done. They got the job done. It also felt like after the game, like it was one of those. Now let's see in a couple of weeks' time, but like it felt like one of those potentially coming of age moments ago. We got the job done in difficult circumstances. That I might be speaking prematurely on that, but Harry Maguire did an interview during the week where he basically was like, "We as players are seeing a lot in the media and stuff as well about the formation." He's like, "I can assure you, it is not the formation. Sometimes if you watch us in games, sometimes we're back 2, sometimes we're back 4, sometimes we're back 3, depending on the state of playing a transition. This formation isn't static; it's fluid and it's ever moving. That's the point. The problem is us as players. We have people who haven't put in their shift. We've people who've not pulled their weight. This is Harry Maguire saying this midweek.
I mean, say what you want about Maguire. He's always been obscenely honest and direct. You know what I mean?
But Amorim said it as well. He's like, aggression in both boxes has been their problem. They've created an awful lot of chances. They've hit the post more than any team. They've created more chances than any team. They've had more shots. And to Dean's point last week, they've had more shots on target than anybody in the fucking league as well. And it's a case of they're not aggressive enough in the box, and at the other end, with by endearing goals, they haven't been aggressive enough in the defensive box. It's like, if the ball is from our box to your box in that space, they're playing all of the football, they're moving through the faces, they're doing everything right. They get into the other box, it's like, no, this is nice. And then it goes into their own box, and they go, oh, fuck, panic!
I'm going to throw something at you now about United, and it's
just fascinating to hear Maguire and Amorim say similar, differing things,
and the same vibe.
Both their honest opinion, which same vibe. Amorim going, we need to be more aggressive in both boxes, and Maguire going, no, we're actually like 8 out of 10 points of this match of what we're doing is right. It's us as players who aren't getting on the end of things. It's us as players who aren't putting our body where it hurts. It's us as players who maybe some of them aren't giving or can't give everything. I don't know what it is, but it's just those were the comments during the week, and it was just fascinating to see that they were very aggressive in both boxes last weekend. So that's kind of it's interesting. It's a good time in the Premier League season.
I cook.
John,
I cook and I bake and I bring you a hot take.
Oh.
Instead of looking back, I'm going to look forward for a minute. I'm going to look at the first 2 fixtures next week.
Yes,
right?
Please.
And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This moment that United have where they've won a game and they need to win another one, Brentford are going to beat them next week. And it's going to break hearts. And straight after that, Brighton are going to experience what they experienced last year when Forest took a 5-0 kicking and then took it out on Brighton and Hove Albion. And Chelsea are going to do bad things to Brighton next week. And it breaks my heart, but I think we're looking at a cricket score out of spite and rage because Maresca's going to have kicked some arses through some stomachs last week. But looking at the rest of the matches, that's where my predictions stop because I have no idea how to call Palace Liverpool next week. I genuinely don't know who's
Palace Liverpool next week screams draw.
High scoring draw, yeah. Yeah, and I think it's going to be the one to watch. What do you make of Leeds Bournemouth and City Burnley?
I'd put Bournemouth and City, and we're just going to move on. Bournemouth are surprising everybody. They're surprising me. I had them as... You remember me saying this? I had them as outside.
I kept saying they were going to get relegated, and you guys were like, no, it's Wolves. I was like, no, it's Bournemouth. All their backs are gone. They're fucking 4th in the league. They're 5th.
It's Wolves. It is Wolves that are going to go down.
It's Wolves. It is, yeah. I was wrong for now. Talk to me about Forest and Sunderland, because I think there's something there. I don't know how that goes, because Forest are pretty poor and Sunderland are way stronger than people give them credit for.
I don't Forest are poor.
They're pretty poor.
That's not fair to say. Most passes in the league right now, who is it?
It's probably Forest.
No, player.
Oh, player? Not Morgan. No, that would be silly. Who is it?
Elliot Anderson.
Jesus, of course.
Now, but
The man of the
context here,
hour.
in the way football is played at the moment, right? Top passes are all centre backs because it's this 5-yard left, right, left, right. So the next few guys after him are Van Dijk, Chalobah, Tosin Adarabioyo, Joachim Anderson, Moises Caicedo, Mickey Van de Ven,
Who you'd
Christian
expect.
Romero, Agadou, and Lewis Dunk.
Yeah.
So all of the rest
Exactly who you would expect.
are the guys.
By the way, Chalobah scored again.
Of course, I don't get it.
What the fuck?
The anomaly of football. Like, run with it. Fucking run with it.
It's great.
For the
Pick
fella
him
that
up.
didn't want to
He's the guy that no one has picked up in your league yet, and he is the third highest scoring player for us.
If somebody's sitting on him right now, they're looking at all you going. But yeah, Elliot Anderson has the most passes in the Premier League right now. He has 417 passes. Van Dijk has 389. Like, that's a clean 20 odd passes more than. But and a team like Liverpool who have a lot of the ball, who Van Dijk essentially receives from the goalkeeper, looks left, goes to Kirkus, thanks. Receives it back from Kirkus, plays it across to Konate, gets it back, goes thanks. Plays up to midfield. So in a 30-second space, Van Dijk is essentially getting 3-4 passes. You know what I mean?
So are we saying Forest takes Sunderland off the back of Anderson and
I do think so, and I think Elliot Anderson under Ange as well is just going to go again because he has the potential to be that control that Spurs didn't have, the metronomic player that where Ange's system. I think Ange's system didn't build for a James Maddison at 10, if you get me. I think it needed more of a guy who's a little further withdrawn, sees the runners going and starts essentially QBing it, for want of a better word. And you'll have a run, and oh, would you look at that, Morgan Gibbs? You're off on a mosey. Here, have a pass. And that's Elliot Anderson is very, very good. And what I love about him,
he's must grab right now.
We started hollering about him last year because we've obviously been doing this starter model, and this brings us a nice circle moment to wrap this all out. We've been doing this model quite a while, and we've been seeing these trends in these types of players, and he's a bit of an anomaly because he does bits of everything, but his passing haul, like a lot of people have been raving about Adam Wharton for a while. Elliot Anderson only got his chance at the England game because Wharton was out. And now he's the media darling because once he played at a team that's not fucking Forest, this is my problem with some of this, right? This is the same thing I've bitched about Fulham. It's the same thing I've bitched about Palace. There's fellas in these little teams that can play at a higher level, should be playing for their international teams, but they're not playing in a team that's televised enough for the fans to be climbing over him. Elliot Anderson, it was only Andorra. Fine. But he didn't look out of place in an England team that contained Harry Kane, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, fucking Trent.
Oh no, he's been that level for a while. He's been there for a while.
Well, not even since the start of last season. Nobody knew him coming from Newcastle. And about 6 weeks in, we said it on here, going, keep an eye on this fucker. Our eyes have been kept.
Yep. A little bit of indication there for the starter boys.
Every once in a while we get one right.
All in the numbers.
Every once in a while we get one right. My next one
to get a lot of them right.
Call out is Josh King. If you haven't been watching him, just get a piece of that. Oh, he's gonna be so good. He's gonna be so good.
Yeah, just don't do it in fantasy because he doesn't score points.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think he is the best draft of the next season.
Yes.
I think
this year you're going to see him progress, and next year he's the man. Anyway, right, Jimmy. Do you know the way we had that team of the week, and we have the team of the year, and we have all of this that we've kind of discussed about? Where can they find it, and where can they sign up to the waiting list to play our little game?
I've forgotten. No, I haven't. It's StatrDraft.com. STAT or draft.com, and that's draft as in football, not as in under the door. Yes. Team of the week will be up with you shortly later on this evening. We might even take a look at the team of the year so far, but I promised myself we'd wait until week 6 for that. So you got to stay tuned for that one.
I think we wait till the October international break for that.
Yeah, that's the time for it. We don't want to blow our load too early. But yes, team of the week will be up there. We've got John always gives us the best article to read after the fact, which is the predictions for the week ahead. I love reading this after we've seen how it plays out, because
Well,
when you
have
get
you
it
seen
right,
how
mate,
many I got right this week?
you get a rake of them right, but the ones you get wrong are just so much fun.
I think
Either way,
I think I was
it's
7
all
out of
good.
10. I think I was 7 out
You're
of 10
7 out of
matches
10.
this
Yeah.
week. Not even matches right, but results. I really need to start taking these to the bookies. Because
You
that's
need
2
to
weeks
start
in a row
talking to
where I've
Mr.
said
Power. Yes.
results right.
Let's make some money on this gig. But yeah, there's a lot to see there,
Because
guys.
what we do is we
We've
pick
added our
5
club
matches
hub.
and get that one wrong drastically.
We've got our club hubs up there with all of the fixtures and all of the players for every team. So if you want to have a look at, let's say, the long term, you can get a lot more than just what's the next 3 games on the frankly unnavigable FPL app this year. It's all over there. It's all very clear. It's all very easy to see. And we'd love to have you come visit. It's over at StatrDraft.com, where you will see the writings, rantings, ravings, and reviews by myself, John, the whole team. Dean's in there. Gary's in there. We even get an old Snaky Dermot now and again. So that's where it's all happening, and the waiting list is there too. So head on over, give it a look. If you like what you see, you know how to follow us.
Yeah, and we're obviously in all the places. We're on the YouTube, the TikTok. I do my live streams every Saturday morning before the Premier League games start. Sometimes Jimmy will be there. Sometimes Dean might be there. Sometimes somebody might be there. Most of the time, it's just me basically vibing for breakfast, which, what are you going to do? So look, on that note, if you haven't checked out the website, do. If you're not following us on the social, do the thing. Other than that, if you have questions for us, toss them at us. And other than that, peace out, good luck, good night, goodbye. Yeah, we is
So
out.
long, folks.
Good luck.